Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell in the upper right-hand corner. Follow me on all forms of social media. Check me out at thatdrummerguy.com and enjoy the following presentation. Hello?
Josh.
Hi, how's it going?
Excellent. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much for taking the time to do this interview.
You bet. You're welcome. The drummer guy, huh?
Oh, that's right.
What's that all about? I'm not a drummer. You know that.
Oh, that's true. In fact, you were one of my favorite guitarists around currently, and it's great to be able to talk to you about that. And of course, talking about the brand new live album from Accept, Symphonic Terror, which is just coming out on Friday through Nuclear Blast.
Symphonic Terror, yes, sir. Not two-tonic in this case, it's symphonic. How about that?
So, with all of this in mind, where did the idea come from to make a live album like this at Wacken?
Well, I mean, we played the show at Wacken and we knew they were going to be filming. So once we saw the footage, we decided, man, this worked so well and it was such a beautiful show, we have to release this because not everybody obviously could be there for that show live in person, or if you saw it streaming around the world, which a lot of people did. I've heard it was about 1 million spectators online. But even those people wanted to see it again and have something that they could watch in their home, later on. So we decided to go through the footage and re-edit it and make sure it's, proper audio and video quality and release it as a DVD.
And it's so great that you guys decided to do that as well, because with getting the promo here, not being able to get to see it the first time around through a stream or being at Wacken, it was great to be able to go back and check out this set, see how, be it the classical arrangements, be it the classic Accept songs, whatever the case was, it was so great to see this power that went into the sets, I mean, for almost a full 2 hours.
It was 2 hours. Crazy, huh? Yeah, it was, one of the craziest festival shows we've ever played. I mean, good crazy. It was, it worked really smooth and, but just having 3 parts like that during a set was totally unusual for us, starting with our new songs from The Rise of Chaos, and then doing a changeover and having the orchestra revealed, and then playing instrumental songs, and then the last hour, never heard like that before, classic Accept songs with orchestration. So, doing a 3-part show like that was quite challenging, but man, it was fun as hell.
And how hard was it to decide what songs were going to be a part of that set?
It wasn't all that difficult, to be honest. I had a good feeling of which, I mean, there's some songs we have to play no matter what, like Balls and let's say Fast as a Shark and stuff. But if they would not have felt right with the orchestration, I would have sort of not played them. But luckily, even those songs worked really well. And then there were some other songs that I felt would probably work really well, like Shadow Soldiers and Last of the Dying Breed, because those songs already have a lot of nice melodic parts that would sound well with an orchestra, I thought, and I was right. They did work really well. So, you kind of have a feeling for which songs are probably going to work, and we wrote the orchestrations and the scores for it, and we sort of simulated everything in my studio like 6 or 8 months before the show, and had a kind of a feeling of how it would sound with an orchestra, but you never really know until you actually go ahead and do it.
Oh, very much so. And, it was great to be able to see the way that it was paid off and everything. I mean, when you see the crowd at Wacken just so into everything that's going on there, and then just seeing how happy you were on stage, being able to show off all these different sides to Accept, and you're playing being the orchestral pieces, the classic, the Accept, or in the beginning with the newer Accept songs. It was just great to be able to see something like that in a 2-hour show.
Yeah. And to me, I've always been somebody who likes the sort of the nuances of playing metal. I've never been into something that's like 100% all the time. To me, it's all about ups and downs and quieter parts and then full blast again. So with an orchestra, you can actually do that really well because you get all the dynamic range that an orchestra has. And, so that to me is the most fun, when you can actually work on those little nuances and have all the variety in basically in your toolkit.
Oh, absolutely. And you can absolutely hear that in your playing as well. I mean, no matter what part of the set it is, I mean, it comes off as so natural for you being able to hit all those highs and lows and everything in between in that set. And that's what makes for such a great set. And I'm, again, so grateful that this has now going to be coming out on Friday, just being able to see all these peaks and valleys, these ebbs and flows that's going on in the subset.
Yeah, it was one of those moments I guess we'll never forget, man. Just being on stage, in front of all these people, and then the sun was slowly setting, and the orchestra behind us, and it sounded so beautiful, and it looked beautiful too. It was just one of those days, man.
And with that, I mean, obviously, with getting this for the full live release, going back and editing the right parts and seeing how it looked back, I mean, what was it like for you to be able to see Accept with a full orchestra looking back at it?
It was unreal in a way, because, like I said, it was the first time ever that we've done it. And, now that we have done it once, we want to do more of it. And we are currently actually we're booking shows for next spring again with the orchestra, and we're playing shows all over Europe. They're similar. It's not exactly the same show, but it's based on that, and it's kind of similar, where it's Accept songs and songs from my Headbanger Symphony solo album. So we're going to bring a different version of that same show around the world.
Oh, that's incredible. I was actually going to ask if there was any talks about that. So the fact that that's already being in the works for next year, I mean, that makes me so happy to see that more people will be able to get to experience this live.
Yeah, and it's going to be in indoor venues and nicer venues than your typical rock shows, that not your typical rock clubs, let's say, more like, nice theaters and symphony halls and those type venues. Some of them even historic places that a rock show or a metal show would never be at. So that's going to be something interesting for the fans to see, because a lot of fans like metal, but they've seen a lot of metal shows over the years, and it's always fun to see something different, whether it be a different venue or a different sound or both, where it's something that you maybe never get to see again. And that's what that concert tour is going to be next year. It's really going to have more of a concert feeling than just a metal show.
Oh, absolutely. And, I'm just envisioning that right now. I mean, especially like from the acoustics as well, too. I mean, especially if you're hitting venues that were meant for symphonies and orchestras. I mean, being able to get that full experience of getting that live feeling with the natural reverb that goes into those venues and everything that goes onto there. I mean, that's got to be a great experience for you.
Exactly. And that's where playing a show like Wacken is fun and great, but really for an orchestra, it's kind of a compromise, because orchestras really don't sound best when they're outdoors. They're really meant to be in a symphony hall, because these halls were built for orchestras, and that's where you want to see it, or hear him. I mean, it's fun to see him outdoors, but I think the hearing aspect is going to be even funner indoors,
Oh, I can absolutely imagine that. I mean, it's just, I love everything that's going on with this live release, being able to hear the full-on orchestra, hearing the whole band of Accept together, but to get that live experience, especially in those concert halls like that, I mean, I can just imagine having that once-in-a-lifetime experience like that, getting that full and sound, I mean, for you on stage and for the audience.
Yeah. So I can't wait to do that and play some more shows like that. And also, when we do these shows next year, we're actually going to have also a little more time to play other material that we didn't get to play at Wacken. Let's face it, Wacken is a metal festival with a sort of a party crowd there, so you can't really play all the songs, like the slower ballady type stuff that you might want to do. It's usually better to not do those at a festival like Wacken, where everybody is really in a party mood. But if we do our own headlining shows in these concert halls, then we get to play a different set list as well.
And I gotta imagine that's gonna be really fun for you too. I mean, obviously with all the songs that are played for this live release, I mean, it's such a great eclectic set for an Accept fan, but being able to switch things up on stage for these different kinds of scenarios, I imagine that's gonna be a great feeling for you as well.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. Absolutely. We'll see how far we can take this. I mean, we're always going to be going to stay a metal band and do our metal tours, and we're actually working on another studio album here before too long too. But this is really a change of pace for everybody, and we really enjoy it. I mean, it's always been one of my lifelong dreams to do a show like that, a show with a symphony orchestra. And now I've done it, and now I want to do more of it.
Yeah, and it's so incredible to be able to see that, except in 2018 being able to put out a live release like this, and the fact that you guys are able to do more shows like this in 2019. I mean, that's got me really excited as a fan, being able to see more of that happening, and just I imagine that's going to be some great inspiration for when the next Accept album starts getting written.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I've always kind of written songs based on classical inspiration. I mean, there's a lot of elements in our songs, and always have been ever since day one, that are somehow borrowed or inspired by classical vibes and themes. And even all the way back in '85, I used some real classical elements, like from Tchaikovsky and Beethoven, and incorporated into a guitar solo here and there. So I've always dabbled around with that idea, but now we actually do it for real. So it's fun.
Oh, absolutely. And yeah, I mean, it's great to see how busy you are personally with everything that's going on. I mean, be it just full-on Accept tours, be it these upcoming shows that are coming up in 2019, upcoming writing for the next Accept album. Is there anything that's in the works for outside of Accept for your work coming up?
Not really. I mean, I don't know. I don't find enough time to do all. I mean, there's only 24 hours in the day as it is, so I wouldn't really know when I would do anything else, because I'm really working every day on something. Whether it's this, doing interviews, press, preparation of the next touring cycle, or writing songs, or these orchestrations. So, I'm busy as hell, and it's great. I love it. Who would have thought that we're coming back full force like this? I mean, we just started again 10 years ago, but these last 10 years have been so full and so fulfilling, actually. There's no stopping in sight. It's great.
Oh, absolutely. And each studio album, I mean, it just sounds so fresh and so inspired every time that you guys come back with a new album. And, being able to hear these new songs right before you start getting into the orchestration that shows up throughout the rest of the live release, and then being able to see what happens there, it's got me very excited for that next Accept album. And it was, again, just listening here with Symphonic Terror, I mean, it's so great to hear all these different sides of Accept, your playing, and of course being able to talk to you right now about everything going on in the world of Accept.
Yeah, we're staying busy. So I'm super glad that there's fans out there who sort of follow what we do, and who are definitely interested in and buy the new albums. And I mean, it's just a great situation that we're in right now, with these super loyal fans who have been following us for, some of them 30, 40 years, and they're still out there, and we're still getting new fans. So, I mean, this is really a very, very good period in our life, in our career right now. And couldn't more, honestly.
And with that, I think that's the perfect note to end on. Thank you so very much for taking all this time to be able to talk to me about everything in the world of Accept right now. And of course, Symphonic Terror live at Wacken 2017, which is coming out on Friday through Nuclear Blast. It was an absolute pleasure to be able to talk to you about everything going on there, everything to expect in 2019, a little bit on the next Accept album when that starts to come to fruition. It was just an amazing time being able to talk to you.
Well, thank you so much. My pleasure. Take care, my friend.
You as well.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.